Corte. I have a clothing line and a jewelry line, and it's called LiveToAspire. But LiveToAspire is a little bit more than that, but I'll explain that a little bit later. I've always been into art, so fashion was always like something that I went back to. I always had my own personal style, and I really got into it because it was a form of expression. I always wanted to express myself in the best possible way, and then I thought fashion is honestly like you can make it anything, and you can like embody something. You can embody a character in anything that you do. So you dress up one day, you can dress one way. Dress another day, dress another way. You embody almost like a character. The way that you feel, you embody it in what you wear, basically. Toronto's fashion, I don't know how to describe it other than slightly late. That's the best way that I can describe it, because honestly the rest of the world is a total step ahead of us. We get our style from other places in the world, mainly from like Japan and Europe first, and then it gets translated to like the US style, and then we get like whatever's left of it. So our style is late compared to the rest of the world, really. First piece of clothing I designed was a cut-off crop top, and it was a customized shirt. And I remember the day when I bought it, and I was like, I'm gonna make this into something new. So I brought it home, I did a few things, cut it up, and then I put it on Facebook. And I already had designed a similar shirt. So there was these two girls that really wanted my shirt, so they were going back and forth in my inbox. And it went from $30 to $50, and I was like, are you serious? So that was my first. And then when my friends actually in New York, Andre, I see you, he asked me that he saw the shirt and he's like, I want to buy it for my girlfriend's anniversary. Well, designing jewelry is different in many ways, because clothing is almost, you put it on like your whole body. Jewelry comes as an accent. So it can go for something really simple, or you can go for something really crazy. Like the feather necklace, like harness that I have, it's very out there, and it really makes the outfit. It almost completes it, because I made it specifically for the dress that I wore. So it can go from something really simple to dress up as a detail until something crazy that actually makes the outfit. The jewelry, it really depends, because it can go from like 10 minutes to something like totally different. It's different with the clothing, because clothings have like the hems and like pockets or whatever I'm using. Either sometimes I'm taking just the pockets from something and I'm putting it on something else, or I'm totally reconstructing the piece. So it could take hours, it could even take days if I don't have the inspiration on a certain piece of clothing. Like sometimes I even just collect the clothes. I see a piece of clothing and I'm like, I'm gonna take this, and then when I get home after like a week or two, the inspiration comes and all of a sudden I'm making some crazy new piece of clothing. So it really depends, yeah. Well, I just graduated from Remix Project, and I was actually the first participant to have a fashion show, which is amazing, because the following Remix participants can, follow my footsteps. I hope I created a nice broad pathway that they can walk through. But actually setting up a fashion show, it's hard, because what I did for Remix is that I also had a lookbook photo shoot before, so I personally had to find all the models, all the photographers, all the makeup artists, and for the day of, so I had 2 separate makeup artists, the same photographers for both days, different models for the separate days. So I went back and forth. It was crazy. It's stressful. It's honestly like an emotional roller coaster, because it's hard when, like, I had a lot of help, but sometimes when you need that person to help you, you don't have it, and it's crazy because I'm all over the place. I love helping other people, and sometimes it's crazy when you can't find that help to help you. Designing clothing, I think, especially with what I do with reconstructing clothing, I have original ideas as well, but with the reconstructing of clothing, it's really taking something that you might not have worn before, and you take it and make it new. So you have all these clothes that are sitting in your closet and you haven't worn them in like months, or like your dad's clothing or whatever it may be, and totally recreating them new. And I love that idea of upcycling, making it new, having a fresh idea with something that was already old or vintage. I don't know who said it to me. I think it might have been you, that you call me a fashion chameleon. And I embody the way that I feel, and the things that I do, and I'll match it. Like, let's say sometimes I start my outfit with a bracelet, and I'll be like, oh, this bracelet has brown in it. Okay, so I have to wear a brown shirt, beige bottoms, and whatever. So I'll work backwards sometimes. So honestly, it depends on my mood. I'm constantly on blogs, if it be like Tumblr or even Lookbook. I'm always constantly looking for people's personal styles. Like, I love Lookbook for that reason, is because it's people around the world showcasing their personal style, and you can get an idea and you can be like, oh, I like how that belt is, and I like how that purse is. And then when you go out and you find something similar, you're connecting all these pieces and making your own style with a style that you've seen somebody else wear. So I love it. I get it from everywhere and anywhere. Whew. My fashion goals probably would be to expand my clothing line to a point where it can inspire others. I think that's the biggest thing with what I want to do, is inspire others. And on top of having fashion goals, I also have a goal where I want to take LiveToAspire. LiveToAspire is really the base of a worldwide network. I want to create a worldwide network of people living to aspire. So let's say you're a photographer and there's somebody in your city or in another city that's like, oh, I need a photographer, or like they'll fly you out. Or if there's somebody that makes beats in another country and there's a rapper or singer in Canada and they make a song together, and what if that goes on the radio? And what if it becomes successful? It's really bridging the gap, not only in your own city, but like bridging the gap everywhere. Because I found myself connecting people not only in Toronto, but even across the border. So I was like, I do this regardless, so why not take it to the next level? So with fashion, where that ties in is, it was my first goal, one of my first aspirations. So I think now I'm going to be like, see, I spent all this time creating this idea, and now what do you live to aspire to do? What do you want to do with your life? Because I know what I want to do, and I want to help you. And so live to aspire. Basically, I'm gonna make it really broad, not just for fashion designers. So making it in general, anyone that wants to do, if you want to do something, please go ahead and do it. I already said this, and it's like, you can only have, there's things in life that you have to do, like go to school. And you might not be totally passionate about it, you might not even want to go to school. But then there's those things that you go home and you rush to do, like make jewelry, or go home and make a beat, or go home and write lyrics, or whatever it may be. That's what you're passionate about. Don't go against your passion, because you're not going to enjoy doing what you do. So just when you find that passion, just keep reinforcing it. Go to workshops, meet other people, network with people. And the way that you network with people is just, find people that like to do the same things that you do, through Facebook, through Twitter, and just, approach them. Ask them, oh, hey, I'm looking to get into this. How can I help you? Or, I want to learn more. How can you help me in any kind of way? So it's just letting free, becoming loose, finding yourself. People can find me on my website. It's www.LiveToAspire.com. On my Twitter page, which is @LiveToAspire, and on my Facebook fan page, which is also LiveToAspire. So I'm always welcome if you want to message me, ask me questions. So feel free.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
I'm Josie, and I live to aspire.